Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me on tonight. My name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I'm the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. I want to say salutations to my Padrino, and to my Oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in E5 Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Anjays. I am streaming live here tonight. I realize that some of you guys are asleep, some of you guys may not be up. But I'm working with the Egoons on tonight, and I'm working Palo tonight. Oh, what's up, Stormy? You still are? You a real Sagittarius. What's up there, Jelly Sweets? I'm kind of shocked that y'all still up with me, but I'm working the Egoon. I got work to do for the graveyard. Those that did the graveyard work, and so I already did most of the ceremony. So, like I said, I don't show my cauldrons, but I have Cynthia over here, and then I got Zarabanda right there. And a lot of times when you get into the ATRs or you get in African tradition, a lot of times people don't understand why you venerate your Egoons or your ancestors. And I said why they should come first, right? And I am a necromancer born. Mama Susan, you girl, you still up, Gemini. So now what I am going to explain tonight for the benefit of those that have already taken my classes, that have already gotten graveyard work, I feel like this is going to really help a lot of you guys get more familiar with real magic, real spirituality, real conjure. Now, the concept of Cynthia, she is the owner of the cemetery, okay? She also rules the Egoons, okay? And then Zarabanda is also the warrior, the fighter. And so a lot of you that got the graveyard work and dealing with the graveyard work, I'm doing Palo tonight. I already did my incantations. Assalamu alaikum. What's all right, Karen? Y'all impressing me. Y'all are impressing me. So what I want to explain, no matter if you do hoodoo, voodoo, Santeria, Obia, Conjure, Mystic, it don't just, I'm a necromancer. So let me explain why your ancestors or your Egoons or your Moretos come first. Now, first of all, understand that this is about cellular connection. This is your blood, your genes, your DNA. This is biochemistry, right? So the reason why your Egoons come first is because you are the ancestor. You are the incarnate ancestor. And the ancestors that work with you all agree to be in your spiritual court, depending on what type of ancestors you have, right? And so those that got your graveyard work. Now, since Cynthia rules the Egoon and she controls the Egoons, and so when I petition in your behalf, what's up to me? All right, y'all, I'm impressed. All right, these are the hours where I conjure. I know I got to go to work tomorrow, but I got to take care of the Egoon, take care of the spirits. I'm excited for. I just had a beautiful time. I had a consultation, not a consultation, but a progressive reading day, and I just really enjoyed her, and I enjoyed the conversation. I enjoyed her enthusiasm with her Egoons, her truthfulness. This is what made me really enjoy what I do, and the level of patience, the level the things that spirit is moving in their life. I love to see God move for y'all, like really, okay? So the thing about it is, when we talk about Ori or Orisha, we're really talking about this right here, your crown. We're really talking about where your soul. In Haitian voodoo, we call it the little angel. That's we use the terminology mete, and that is the little angel. That's the spirit that well, I ain't gonna lie, that people try to capture your little angel, which is the soul of that person. And if they ever get that spirit, so there are ceremonies that they do to try to open your crown chakra to release that particular spirit. So no matter what the ATR is, the reason why you venerate, the reason why you work with your Egoons is because they already understand your destiny. I'm going to say this again. they already understand your desires because you are them and they are you. Okay, you got to think about it. The aspect of Egun or your Ori is that your whole body is animated, or you become a living soul because of this spirit that lives inside of your crown, that lives in your head, which is the real you. It is the subconscious part of you. It is the God particle of you. How all spirituality, that's when people work on your head, they're really trying to block your spirit from being able to communicate with other spirits, for you to get other messages or warnings or bless. It doesn't, like your not your brain, but your crown chakra is like the control tower. Assalamu alaikum. Tata and Kisa. I'm Tata and Kisa now. I'm not child of Oya. I am the child of Cynthia. I'm the child of Zerabanda on tonight. Because this is why you have to have different tools as a spiritual person, especially me being a pastor. There's so many different things that I have to utilize to get certain things done for you guys, right? So when you got your graveyard work, what you have been participating in is your connectivity to your Egun. This is why and Chris, not Chris, but Demetrius can tell you how stimulated that his altar his ancestor altar has become. Not only because of what I did, that particular live that I did, but also because every time I step into, because I'm a child of the dead, so every time I step, I stir the arche of your bloodline, which is your cellular energy, which is what you're comprised of. So basically, say for instance, if you got your graveyard work and you're say for instance you spent, just say if you spent $2,000, if you don't put, you're gonna, like, once you get to $5,000, it's gonna be so off the chain, because some of y'all are not really used to this type of conjure. So once you get at least $5,000, you're gonna see, even if you do $1,000, you're gonna see some change. But once you, because I'm gonna be I am going to be summoning, I am going to be animating your Eguns, and which means they're going to become more tangible. I have what I call Isaiah 10:27 anointing. It's a tangible, as physical as energy can be in your life. That's what's going to start happening. Once you get around that $5,000 mark and higher, a lot of spirits are going to become more tangible. I'm glad you're a white boy. Especially, I hope you're in America. Now, I'm burnt. It's because it's already Tuesday, so as above, so below. This is definitely talking about Mars energy. So I have this pot here, and I have these cigars that I'm crushing up inside of this pot, because tobacco is ruled by Mars, but tobacco is a element of fire of Mars, but this is also a great communicator. So the reason why you want to be able to communicate with your Eguns and your Eguns communicate with you is because they're going to be telling you on what to do, how to do. This is like a lot of times I'm doing your readings and stuff like that. It is my Eguns that are saying, okay, this is what's going on. You need to tell them to get this or do this or this XYZ. When you have good communication with your Eguns, when you present them with a situation or a problem, they collaborate together and they communicate with you and tell you what to do, or sometimes what not to do. And so by me having a direct connectivity to the ancestor realm, a direct connectivity to the owner of the spirits. Yes, I'm a child of Oya or Yanza, but I'm also a child of Cynthia, and so therefore my magic and my activity level with the Egun is extremely strong and high. So some of you tonight, that since you came on here, that what happens is once I start stirring up your Eguns, this is going to make them be able to manifest in your life more physically. I'm going to say this again. I use the terminology tangible, because you're going to start seeing them not just in shadow form. You're going to start seeing them more in an energetic, in a physical way, because they're going to be closer and closer. We use the terminology of thinning the veil, and that happens around November. But when you are already a child that walks between two worlds, like myself, that I always walk with the thinning of the veils. And so whether they communicate with me via through my mind, or whether they give me an audible, whether they visit me through dreams or visions or day visions, or just speak through me or utilize me, this is where the concept of mediumship comes, is that you become a vessel where that spirit can inhabit and to operate magic. Peace, man. Do you need to be initiated to call on the Orishas? No, you don't have to be initiated to venerate or to pay homage. You have to look at it from the concept. You can say yes ma'am, no ma'am, or yes sir, no sir to any adult elder. But initiation gives you license or relationship with a particular Orisha or the Orisha family. If you have already had a visitation with that energy, because when I say call, it's like trying to call somebody you don't have their phone number. You have to have a relationship with that. Well, that Orisha has to have a relationship with you. I said it in the wrong way. That Orisha has to have a relationship with you, and they will give you different ways to call them. You can't learn how to call an Orisha through the means of books. That the spirit is going to show you how to contact it. That spirit is going to show you how to call it, okay, or him or her. In this case, I'm dealing with her and him, and so I am burning the tobacco in front of the pots, the cauldrons. Now, to you guys that, and this is another thing that why your eguns come first. This is when you hear me use the terminology, obedience is better than sacrifice. The wind is blowing, so they're showing up. So when you think about your eguns come for a purpose. No spirit shows up without purpose. They all, if your egun or community, you don't call them just to have small talk. You don't. This is not chatter. It is I've already. This is the liquor that I use. I normally have the big bottle like this. This is but I sprayed them with this. I got this particular bottle. This liquor is called Ogun, and it's fire. Now I'm not a drinker, but when I tell you this liquor is hot, and liquor is called spirit for a reason, because this is the alchemy class that I offer on my website. Jesus is the answer, man. For white people, Jesus, you got your answer, and we got our answers. Y'all answers don't answer our prayers. So it may be your Jesus might be your answer, but it's not my answer. And I want to say this to melanated people: stop allowing the caucasity of white people that want you to serve their gods, that ensnared you and took away your original relationship and your communication. Okay, I do realize that we are in the United States, and that many of you guys don't know and you don't study that there is no such thing as Jesus. If you follow Israel and you believe that Israel are the chosen people, which we are the original or Israelites, if you believe that concept, then you will understand that you operate by the Hebrew alphabet. So there's no J in the Hebrew alphabet, it's Y. So it's called Yahshua. Some people say Emmanuel. And so it is operating from the I am statement, which is ruled by Aries. Somebody asked me, am I homeless? I make over $100,000 a year on my job. I'm a UPS driver. This year will be 30 years. I own a $400,000 house, and I own investment property. I hope that answers your question. I'm not a typical black man. I make enough money to make your dad suck my prick. So, when we work with our ancestors and we venerate our ancestors and our eguns, you have to understand it is not outside of self. And so the purpose of putting them first is really putting yourself first. And this is why this is important. It's because when you elevate, they elevate. Like when I got crowned, my eguns, my spirits, my ancestral line, my bloodline all got affected by that crowning. Then I got crowned again. I got crowned my Fedifun Oya, which is Yanza, and then I got crowned Babalu Aye. And so therefore, when your ancestors, this is why we burn incense. In this particular case, this is a blend. And my ancestor incense has a different blend, but it does have tobacco in it. It has a lot of different things that I utilize to feed my eguns. Now, when you get into war, if you get into a situation, it is your egun, it is your ancestors that mount you, is your egun that come to your aid. Your job as a part of that ancestry is to not only strengthen yourself, but also in turn strengthen them. This, if you want to elevate your ancestor, that's when you work with my guardian angel incense. Half of me is outside. Definitely a Biden vote, aren't you? Absolutely. Definitely. I wouldn't vote for Trump if your mama sucked my dick. So, when you think about ancestor veneration and why you want to put the time in, when you say seek ye first the kingdom is within you. That is your ancestors. Your ancestors have a direct connectivity to your cellular structure. This is where black melanated people go wrong. Your ancestors travel through your blood. This is why when you get scratched, you have to shed blood. This is why when you go through certain ceremony, blood has to be given, because what you're doing, because that blood is also a part of your ancestry that you are feeding, and you're making connection to that cauldron, making connection to your spirits, and your spirits making connection to you. That's why blood is important. And that's why we use the terminology bloodline, the line of your blood. What's in the line? What is in the succession of your bloodline? What this is when we do the some of you guys have done the ancestry. How far does your bloodline go back? And where does your bloodline come from? Because that's what allows you to draw Ache from Palo, Ocha, Lukumi, Hoodoo, Voodoo. It has to be in your blood. And so therefore, when you get initiated or you get scratched, what they're doing is they're awakening, whether you have a Congo spirit or whether you have an Arabian spirit, whatever your ancestry is, that is the Arche, that is the magic, that is the Chi, that is the prana. Now, once you activate your ancestry and that the spirits are active in your life, now you have to figure out the reason why you want to know who's in your court, because when you do money work or you do prosperity work or you do in warfare work, you need to know who your warriors are, who are the spirits that stand up and fight for you, who are the spirits that, like in my case, I have Bablu Aye. He's well, he's not the only spirit that works with me with healing, but I'm going to use him as an example. He's actually a Loa in Haitian Voodoo. And so this is the spirit that I call upon to assist me in my arche of healing, to heal myself or a respective person. What's your channel about? My channel is about helping melanated people that are in the church that practice ATR, not allow people that are ignorant to hinder them from practicing the black arts. And then it is also for any melanated person that has left the church, don't want to have nothing to do with the church. It's a place where they can still learn and grow. This is super chat. If you got real questions, then hit my super chat. Other than that, your question is going to be no. But we appreciate you coming on here, helping the algorithm. So now, when you don't make your magic about your cellular structure, which is your real temple, which is this outward shell, which contains your bloodline. Remember, iron is the blood of the universe. Okay, it's like chlorophyll is the blood of plants. Okay, so when whatever genetics are in the blood, you can manifest. The more you awaken your bloodline, the more you awaken your egoons. Now, if you get into heavier ceremonies, you're able to reanimate those egoons that may be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 generations back. Sometimes because of your old soul, because my rising sign is Pisces. So sometimes you have egoons that may be millions of years old. Sometimes they may be 100,000 years old. They depending on what kind of walk you have. Mafedi Fun Oshun. This is why you do the sacrifices and you do the veneration, because what you're trying to do is that you want to enact those spirits that are going to assist you in this life and that align. Don't just be trying to activate ancestors, because that's not the purpose. Everybody in your spiritual core or your spiritual team is there with purpose for you to fulfill your destiny in this particular lifetime. Blue sheep. Anyway, so the reason why I think that this is important, a lot of you guys, when I'm doing graveyard work for you, and I'm working with your egoons and setting your petitions in front of them, if you don't trust yourself, you're not gonna trust your egoons. I'm gonna say that again. Doing your personal development of your self-esteem, your self-fulfilling prophecies, your perception about yourself has a lot to do with how you feel about the spirits of your ancestors. If you are ashamed to practice the ATRs, or you are being crippled by the dogma of Christianity, what is going to happen is you're going to have a poor reflection of yourself, which means you're going to have a poor reflection of your egoons. And so a lot of times when we doing real magic, the reason why we put the certain things on the altar, it is a representation of our ancestry. This is why you should get offended when somebody tampers or tries to defame. When they defame your ancestor altar, they're defaming you, because you are your egoons. And so everything that is on that altar is a representation of your bloodline or somebody in your bloodline. And so that's why we do it, because we're putting something on the physical world where they can attach to and relate to, and then be based off of what type of ancestor you have in your court. This is the spirit that you go to for that particular subject matter in your life. Some of y'all, you're not funny. So hold on. Tobacco is also used for cleansing. So when you're working with egoon, remember God always has our backs. Our God have our back. Your God don't have our back. That's why y'all keep stealing from us. Anyway, so I want you to break down. Okay. I want you to break down this. Okay. I'm going to use this word. What is incest? Incest is when you, because Chris has ancestor, right? So incest is when you inbreed with blood, right? Inbreed with people that are your bloodline. Okay. And so ancest means ancient, or somebody of past tense. Ancestors, that means people of your past. So when you're venerating people of your past, remember, they say if you want to be able to know where to go in your future, you got to study the past. So the reason why we venerate our ancestors, this is how some of us realize where we get our king's anointing or our queen's anointing, or we get certain gifts or talent because of our ancestors, the ancient ones of our past. People that have had this blood in them before you had this blood in you. And what happens is when you are in your mother's womb, that blood, you and her are sharing blood. So normally we receive the arche from our mothers through the womb, and we receive our arche from our fathers through the semen. The semen is the blood of the male, the seed of the male. And so therefore, what happens is the blood of the male goes into the egg. That's where we come up with the concept about the ankh. And so when we're venerating how many other sperms or how many other ancestors or eguns of our past that are still walking with us in our present, you want to venerate to the point where you have reliable ancestors or eguns that will stand up for you and have the capability or capacity of fighting. And so when I work on your cases, like I'm working, so I talked to one of my clients, and so I'm working certain things for her, but I'm working it through the ancestors, because your ancestors have a vested interest in you succeeding. This is why you always want to work with your egun. Every time you work with your ori, you're working with your egun. Every time you cleanse your head, you're working with your egun. Because when your head is clear, then you can communicate, or they can communicate with you. What happens is a lot of times you don't have clear communication, and you have competing thoughts that run through your mind. This is why cleansing is so very, very important. Now, when you burn your ancestor incense at your ancestor altar, that is going to stimulate. When you burn your guardian angel incense at your altar, that is to help them elevate into other higher realms. But guess what? You have to do that over a period of time, because depending on what kind of vibration and let me tell y'all something. Don't get so fascinated with other types of ATRs that you're placing things in front of your egun or ancestor that they do not understand. Okay? Say for instance that you're venerating an ancestor, but that ancestor was born in the 1800s. Or they're born when a time where the money was about trading cattle. You are, in order to represent the money or the finances, you have to put animals on the altar that represent money. Sometimes shells, depending on how far back you go. This is what some of you guys are unsuccessful because you're not paying attention to your ancestors and what they call money and what they call, and that's why some people are not good at money work or protection work, because if your eguns couldn't fight, if you a part of my heritage is through the Dahomey tribe, right? Working with Haitian voodoo. There's a lot of warriors in my bloodline, and so I come from a long line of warriors and kings, right? So when I'm venerating my eguns and I'm going to my eguns, this is why I tell many of you guys about how you treat my spirits, how you treat them. Like, I have a royal bloodline. I have a dynasty of spirits. I am a matriarch. Let me explain this, y'all. The reason why you hear me use and say that my powers come from a woman and because I'm a matriarch in the ATRs is because this is why Oya is over my head and not Babalu Aye. Because the blood came from my mother through my mother's bloodline. Y'all see what I'm saying? That determines what Orisha, Loa, and Kisi and Pungo that follows you, depending on the bloodline. This is why when melanated people try to skip getting those readings or those misas or those seances or whatever it is, so you can figure out who your bloodline is and then feed them accordingly. Some of you guys don't understand this, but your bloodline might have been, your people in your bloodline maybe have been very sexual. So let me say this. When you get an egun, a moreto, an infumbe, an ancestor, you get all of their personality. You get all of their devices. This is why you should not be allowing them to take over your life. They should be working alongside with you in your endeavors and undertaking or protecting you. I'm going to say it again. The purpose of you venerating your ancestors, your eguns, Because when they come in, they are supposed to utilize their energy or what they know, their consciousness knows about assisting you in your life. Because if you start venerating them to the point where you're allowing them to live your life, then you start putting on the attributes of that individual. Whether they had heart problems, whether they had kidney problems, whether they were psychosis, like whatever was going on there, your soul is the one that's supposed to be living this life. Your ego is supposed to be supporting you. And so therefore, that's why I say you are your ancestors and your ancestors are you. But this is your conscious mind living in the now. They are ancestors because they once was on this earth. They once was whatever it is that they did when they were here. And you're tapping into what we call the Akasha records. The Akasha records are no more than memory banks of consciousness, of existing entities that were here, or sometimes they never came and dwelt on the earth plane. Hold on, my Gemini said, I'm really enjoying this live, the knowledge. Your bath cleanser, Apostle. I used it and energetic. I feel better constantly. I have to cleanse my thoughts. Yeah, like and when you practice magic, it is your ego or your ancestor that's putting those formulas together. That's why I have such a high success rate, and I have the type of testimonies when it comes down to my products. It's because it's a spirit that is putting those products together. It's the spirit that is assimilating it. That spirit is guiding that situation. This is not man-made knowledge. This is like when I'm doing certain works. I'm talking to you. They're talking to me. Okay, I want you to come out here, because I was gonna get off the line. I was gonna go to bed. No, you go out there and you work these pots for this woman and get her stuff going, and you take care of this other stuff. They also, when it comes down to veneration of Egun or ancestor, this is what you need to understand about your Egun. Your Egun has to be allowed or given a space of existence in your life. Okay, let me say it like this. Say, for instance, you go and visit your family, right? You are bloodline. It is your family. But their house is already full. They don't have any room for you to lodge. And you don't have no money to have a hotel, right? So when you invite an ancestor to your space, and you don't have a place for him or her to go, then it's like them sleeping outside. You know what I'm saying? You have to be prepared to take care of Egun and have a space where they can lodge. When I was getting my pots done and my voodoo spirit, I was getting his pot done, and Minister Mario's spirit showed up, and him and my head spirit, because my spirits are very jealous of me. So when Mario showed up, he didn't want Mario by him. So Padrino had to take Mario's glass and put it on the other side of the cauldron, because my spirit wanted that space for him. In order to properly venerate Egun, make space in your personal space for your Eguns, or your Eguns they're not going to be able to stay around you, because they have to have a resting place. I'm going to say this again. Whether it's a cauldron, whether it's a crystal, those spirits have to have a physical house in order to house their energy, where they're not burning up their energy, and that's why a lot of times they have to leave and go back, because you did not prepare a space or a place for them. This is why people like me, we do conjure, and we put spirits in spaces where they can remain and do their job and get the things that they need, and stay around to help you fulfill desires. Let me light this candle on my party pimple. So if you want to know why you give offerings, some of you guys did not get a chance to to purchase the Obatala candle for $100, and my Obatala pathway is Obatala Ayaguna, which is a fierce warrior, and my Obatala has to do with change and progress. Warrior, but it is about bringing change, because I'm not fighting for nothing. I don't know what that said. This is great message. Receive again and confirmation. Oh, what's up there, my Stormy? So when you're venerating, like, this is why people need to be knowledgeable and take the classes. I can help you connect the dots when you have invested. I can help you benefit from what I do if you have the information and then you follow Egun. When your Egun comes in, remember, your trust should be, when you trust yourself, you trust the spirits that are there to guide you. So whether there's times that things are being spoken to me, I don't understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's not my job to understand everything, why they telling me to do X, Y, Z. I should have a trust level with my Egun, my Ori, that they know better than me. I'm going to say that again. Nobody, Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, shamanism, nobody of any origin of ATR can make you have confidence in your Egun. That comes due to a relationship, an investment of the nurturement of that relationship. And if you have that relationship, then you have absolutely no problem venerating and putting them first. Because to put them first is to put yourself first. That means seek ye first the kingdom that's what's inside of you, which is your Egun, which is that carries cellular structure. It's all about the cells. And some people say stem cells and all that. Because that's why they got that African lady Lucy, and they have healed and solved so many medical triumphs, because the healing is in her DNA. Victory is in your DNA. That's why no matter how many times they have taken us in slavery and took away our tools, our language, our magic is in our cellular structure. And they can't unlock that. I don't care how much they study us. I don't care how you do astronomy and study the universe, you still will never understand the power of it. And we come from all of that. So therefore, I don't walk around worried about people copying me or trying to emulate what I do, because at the end of the day, you cannot demonstrate the power by which what I have been endowed with. It's cellular. So I hope this helped you guys. Thank you for your support. I hope that you comment on this video if this has been helpful to you. That's funny you say, I thought your magic was under your chef hat. It's funny you say that. Your mama thought my magic was up under my nuts, because she's always there. Your dad thinks my magic is in my rod, because he's always got his tongue on my dick. So, I mean, I can tell you come from those type of people. That's your ancestry. You weren't ready for that, was you? When you think you funny, you get clown. I'm a Sag. Moon in Aries and Rise sign Pisces. This is definitely the lie for you. See what happened when you find out? Love you all, guys. I do have to get some rest, because normally when I do this type of work for you guys, it's hard for me to go to sleep because of the energy that I don't awaken. And so a lot of times I'm just like laying in the bed and waiting for me to fall off to sleep, because the energy is very strong over here. But it has been so helpful. I am crying out how much I needed to hear this. Thank you, my Fetty Funo Shun. If y'all guys don't mind, sir, ma'am, after I come out this, like, it really helps the algorithm if you guys literally comment not only on my channel but behind the videos, because that's also helps people that are in search of this type of teaching. I'm not for everybody, but I can teach anybody if they want to listen. You're quite welcome. Love you, Demetrius. Love you, Stormy. Love you, each and every one of you guys. Thank you, Mama Susan, for staying up. God bless.